exploring the multiverse of pop culture.
This is Podcasserole.
An Adam and JP show.
Here we go, Adam. We're rolling.
It's here.
Our first episode of our 10th season.
Is it really 10th season?
Yeah, season 10.
Mamma mia.
That's Italian.
Wow.
I think I snotted all over our microphone.
Wow. It's been a month-ish?
Well, the last thing we had was the Holiday Super Show.
Yeah, it was about a month ago.
We had a room full of people.
Wow.
There were gifts. There were beverages.
We're like the Broken Token Show, doing one show a month.
I know.
Yeah.
We had fudge.
Oh, yeah.
We had...
your pop? Oh, yeah, it's your holiday pop.
Yeah, we had Stroop waffles.
Yeah. Which I see those everywhere now.
Had you never seen them before then?
I guess I wasn't paying attention, but Dollar General has a Stroop waffle. A Flop Pocket, whatever it was
like
called.
Like a DG Stroop waffle?
Well, it's not their brand. I think it's the brand they brought here.
Well, we had those.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I don't think we shop for food at Dollar General.
No, I was there not shopping, but I just saw it in passing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, look, check it.
Yeah, it's there.
You know, if you have a warm beverage, like in a coffee cup or mug, take one of those and put it over the top and let the steam soften it. That's when it's delicious.
I like tricks like that. Have you heard of the Tim Tam Slam by chance?
I have now.
So our friend Gareth from Australia, right? He sends us and my daughter a care package from Australia, which is maybe the nicest thing ever. Like where he is in the world, of any place right now, they need care packages, but he's sending those to me.
That's true.
I felt terrible, but it was amazing stuff in there. Sent some Wiggle stuff straight from Australia for my daughter and gave us all kinds of good Australian treats, such as a cookie or a biscuit, if you're from there, called a Tim Tam.
Is it delicious?
It's pretty good. So it's like chocolate-coated wafer biscuit with chocolate cream in the middle. Now, when I looked online, I kept seeing these things about the Tim Tam Slam. What that is, it's kind of like a sugar wafer shape to it. Yeah. And so you bite off one corner, and then on the opposite end, bite off the opposite corner. And so you almost create your Tim Tam cookie like a straw. And you suck the liquid of your choice through the Tim Tam, and as it comes through there, it goes through every wafer of the biscuit cookie. It gets kind of soggy, and you can it's pretty much like an Oreo straw.
So
imagine if your Oreos were straws.
What alcoholic beverage did you choose?
Bailey's.
Okay.
Have I told you that story?
No, you have not. Just assumed.
That's it.
You have become my... When we first started doing the podcast, you were a teetotaler.
That's true.
Over the last 10 seasons, you've become a full-blown alcoholic.
That's true.
This is what podcasting does to you, kids.
But yeah, so that's one of the recommended liquids. You can do milk if you want, if you're a baby, but you can do Bailey's as well.
And you enjoyed it.
That was my first time having Bailey's.
Yeah.
It was a double whammy. The double whammy Tim Tam Slam.
So you can make a nice Irish coffee with Bailey's.
Yeah, that's I think I need some more work on the Bailey's.
Yeah.
I can see it being delicious. I just don't think mentally I was there yet. It was great. The Tim Tam Slam was awesome, but afterwards I tried some straight Bailey's on ice, and it was,
the first alcoholic beverage I ever had was an Irish coffee.
Really?
Uh-huh. At Applebee's.
Now, is that actually coffee with Bailey's in it?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I can see that.
On my 21st birthday.
Ah.
You got to drink something. I don't want anything. I don't want a beer. I'm not going to drink liquor. What's this Irish coffee? That sounds good. 21st birthday.
Now, a little side story. When you and I used to go to Tunica, this is back in my Angel days.
Oh, yes.
I would just kill those Virgin Miami Vices. Remember those?
Yes.
Pretty much like a strawberry slushy almost, with some pina colada.
Ordering from the
the penny dogs.
From the penny dogs. I miss the penny dog machines.
Yeah, they're gone. Can't find them. But yeah, the Tim Tam Slam. Check that out. Give that a Google, and you can import some Australian Tim Tams.
Yeah. Let's do everything we can to support Australia.
Yeah,
because it's bad times.
I think I saw it started raining today, so that's a good sign.
Is that good or bad?
I think good.
Well, I think it was storms, right?
But I think like a good, nice, hearty rain.
Well, that's good.
I believe, yeah.
But then I thought it was like severe thunderstorms came through areas that were already hit by the fire.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, hopefully it'll fix itself
So
over there.
sad.
I know, it's terrible.
All the animals
Yeah.
trying to escape
Yeah.
the wildfire.
How did we get on Tim Tams and cookies and
We talk about Stroop waffles.
Stroop waffles and the sucking of the liquid? Yeah,
Yeah.
so Bailey's. Bailey's on ice is kind of rough. I'll get there, though. Now, Kahlua is my next target. Do you like Kahlua?
Don't know that I've ever had Kahlua.
Yeah, I've never had Kahlua.
Yeah.
It's odd to me that whole, I just do my liquor, liquor. The whole sweet thing, like the pre-sweetened liquor is kind of weird to me.
So do you think you would like a pina colada?
I've never had that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a huge, unless it's a Miami Vice, not a huge like pina colada flavor fan.
Yeah. I wish I was the type of person to just walk up into a bar and order a martini.
I want to. 2020 is my year for good whiskeys, liquors, and scotch on ice.
It was holy crap.
No, I'm serious. I see. That seems cool, right? Like just like kind of good bourbon.
Most people are like, maybe I should drink less this year. You're like, no, I have a menu that I'm going to get through. Like people say, I want to see all the Academy Award nominated films, or, I want to listen to the entire catalog of the Beatles. You're like, I want to drink every alcohol.
And it's not even for the buzz effect. It's just strength, like broadening my horizons.
Yeah.
I've seen what I want badly is the perfect circle like ice cube you put in your glass.
Yeah.
You pour the liquor or whiskey over that and just kind of sip for an hour.
Uh-huh.
That seems fun. Like I know I'm going to hate that.
You think,
But it's-
maybe get some slippers, the Wall Street Journal, a smoking jacket.
On New Year's Eve, I drank a Manhattan.
How was it?
It was all right.
Yeah.
It's the best one I've had, which doesn't,
It's bourbon, right?
it's a lot of stuff. There's there's vermouth,
Uh-huh.
bourbon. This one had some maple syrup in there to kind of take the edge off.
Yeah.
It was good, though.
And then there's an old fashioned, right?
Right.
Because and the only reason why I know this is when we go to the Louisville Arcade Expo, like the old fashions are very popular.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the Kentucky bourbon
Uh-huh.
and Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
So
don't think
you-
I've ever had an old fashioned.
Have you had a Manhattan?
Never had a Manhattan.
Yeah, 2020
Never
is
had a
the year.
martini.
Wow.
Yeah.
We should broaden our alcohol horizons this year. By June, let's make a promise. We're going to drink just straight whiskey in a glass together.
I'm not making that
Okay.
promise.
I don't mean like chug it, like a good sip every 10 minutes. You'll be fine. Just a warm throat.
I listened to a conspiracy podcast this week,
Mm-hmm.
and it was did the U.S. government during Prohibition purposely poison the American public? And it was because of the alcohol, because bootleggers would make alcohol out of, or make moonshine out of industrial alcohol. And so the case that was being made is the U.S. government knew this, and so when they changed the recipe for industrial alcohol and actually made it more poisonous than alcohol is, because alcohol is a poison. That's
Yeah.
why it affects your
I
body
mean,
the way
anything,
it does.
yeah, too much that would actually kill you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a problem.
But even a little, I mean, it is, and in its nature, a poison.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that your liver has the ability to process it over time.
For so long.
Yeah. 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 And it sounds like 2020 is the year you're going to test that. It's going to be the roaring 20s for Adam. He's going to...
I mean, it makes sense. If I made it to 70, I would be happy with that number. 70.
Yeah.
For a man of my family, 70 is pretty long.
Yeah.
And so that's the case.
For a man of my age, that doesn't sound like too many more years.
And for me, that's my literal half-life for midlife crisis. I'm good.
So this is
So here we are.
season 10.
Uh-huh.
I'm roughly 10 years older than you.
Yeah, 10-ish.
So you're roughly the age I was when we started podcasting.
Wow.
Is that accurate?
Close. Well, so
I'm about 12 years older than
this is
you,
the 10th
right?
season, but next year would be the 10-year anniversary. Like we started
Yeah.
2011, so actually 2021 would be the 10 years. So,
Right.
Yeah.
So ballpark.
Yeah, close to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Still seem like a young man.
Yeah, see?
Everybody called me old back then.
It's all subjective. That's all you're with.
2020, roaring 20s for
Yeah.
Adam.
Yeah.
I'm going to find a speakeasy.
Don't you want to try
Hang with some-
the liquor whiskeys?
hang with some flappers?
What I want to do is, I did this with vodka. When I first started drinking, I started drinking the worst and cheapest vodka around, like the plastic bottle vodka. And to this day, I don't want to spend $40 on 3 ounces of Belvedere. I'll take a whole liter of some Burnett's for $10, right?
In a jug.
And that's the way to do it.
Do you have a jug of vodka?
I don't want to go in with like every time I tell people I want to try that, like, oh, you should try the aged oak barrel twice distilled. I'm like, no, just give me the lower shelf. Like it's all going to taste like buttholes at this point. Give me the cheap butthole. Am I right? I mean, it won't taste good.
No. I don't think I'm the person to be answering
I want
this.
it. I want the cheap butthole.
Oh, well.
Yeah, like whiskey liquor.
But you sound like you want to broaden your horizon. Or you're just going to broaden always doing the cheapest.
Yeah. Like, I want to try every lower shelf liquor in this place. Just walk in and just have one of every lower shelf.
What's the cheapest scotch you have?
Because there's no way having the bourbon for the first time, even if it's $200 a bottle, you won't like it. Why not have the cheap stuff, right?
We have some scotch that was fermented in an old tennis shoe.
There we go.
I'll take that.
All right. What a deal. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why not just go? That's what I did for vodka. And to this day, I'll prefer or take a Burnett's over Grey Goose. I don't know the difference. I can't.
Or Tito's.
Maybe
is Tito's expensive or is Tito's cheap?
I think Tito's is mid-range now. Yeah. I think. Maybe it's because I don't do shots. Maybe that's the difference. So maybe with this,
just turn the bottle up.
Maybe with the sipping whiskey, may be a big difference.
Big Daddy Adam loves his alcohol.
Yeah, I'm a late bloomer.
It happens.
Yeah.
I'm sure that some couple more years like this, 6 months of rehab, you'll be good as new. You'll be good as new. So I'm gonna say, because full disclosure, we listened a little bit a second ago to one of our old shows.
I mean, a few seconds.
Yeah, just a few seconds, and then we're gonna go to stuff that we haven't listened to yet. But we went back to our first show of 2018, where we actually discussed the Star Wars movie at the time, The Last Skywalker.
I'm curious how my opinions have aged.
Was it no
Last Jedi?
Last Jedi.
Yeah,
The Last Skywalker.
Mixing those 2.5.
And so I'm gonna approach this just like I did 2 years ago. We were gonna gingerly talk about this,
right?
Because I know even the slightest discussion of Star Wars these days can raise the dander of half the people on the internet.
It really can, can't it?
Yeah.
And it's so weird, like just 24 hours ago, the Rise of Skywalker crossed the $1 billion mark in theaters, and people are still, it's almost thought of as like a failure. Isn't that a weird time to be in, where a movie makes $1 billion?
Right.
And people were like, could have been better. That's so weird to me.
It's not that weird.
What a weird time.
Not that weird.
Really? Well, $1 billion? By the way, it couldn't have been better, personally. Like
let's wait till we get to that part of the discussion.
I couldn't hold it in.
I know you loved it.
I do. Like, oh man, yeah.
So I thought it would be fun. And full disclosure, we have not listened to what we're about to listen to.
Yeah.
I did bring it back a little bit, I think, as we were setting it up. But you and I disagree on how we remember our review of The Last Jedi.
Yes.
I seem to think you loved it.
I think I strongly liked it, and I'm almost positive I say I like The Force Awakens more.
You swear you haven't gone back and listened?
No,
to
I promise. We didn't know what year it even happened.
Yeah, that's true. We were looking in the wrong year.
Yeah, I'm almost positive, because in my head I've always, and I'll talk about that more in a bit, but people's main beef with Last Jedi was it wasn't what they wanted, and those are the same people that are mad about The Rise of Skywalker being not what they wanted to see on screen.
Right.
And I'm always, especially in a fandom like that I love so much of Star Wars, like I may have my likes and dislikes, but what they've given to me, I'll respect it because it's canon.
Yeah.
I mean, just because it wasn't what I wanted to be doesn't mean I'll hate it.
So we're going to listen to this.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have a nice, even kill, civil debate in which I will be proven right at the end. Joking. Okay, let's listen. This is we're going to go back 2 years.
Curious. This is fresh for us. I'm curious.
Hear our initial review of The Last Jedi. So I want to, approach this carefully,
right?
Because I know this is a very touchy subject for many.
Where are you going with this? Where are you going?
We had not seen a certain film called Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
I had not thought about this until recently. We haven't spoken of this yet,
and I purposely have not talked to you about it that much.
Right?
Like I know when you saw it, you were really excited.
And
then when I saw it, I was really excited. Mm-hmm. So here we are, a month later.
Mm-hmm. 2 months later. It's been 2 months.
It is 2 months later.
Wow.
Tell me what you thought about Star Wars: The Last Jedi, and I think at this point we can spoil it.
Do you want? Yeah, spoilers on Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
It's been 2 months, guys. Right. If you care anything about this movie, you've seen it.
Do you want my just final quick overview, or do you want a step-by-step process? What do you want here?
Yeah, just give me your overview.
Okay, so like you said, when I first saw it, I was in love with it. It was, if not my favorite Star Wars movie, definitely up there. Wow. And then as time went on, and I believe I kind of put this on the internet's back because I do read a lot of stuff online, on Reddit, on Facebook, on everywhere. And I think reading that gave me more negative ideas of it. And so my grade dropped drastically from that. And so about a week after that, I was on the fence, like, do I like this movie? Do I not? Do I like it only because it's Star Wars? What's the deal? And as time goes on, where we are now, and I believe my final standing ground, I love it. Not as much as The Force Awakens. I think it could have been better in some parts, but it was amazing. And I'm glad they did things that I didn't expect them to do or want them to do.
Yeah.
I think people's main complaint is, for decades, at the bare minimum, for 2 years since The Force Awakens, we've had these ideas of these characters and these backstories we've created. And the fact that we didn't see that come out on screen from what we thought should happen, people got mad about that. And to me, that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, who owes us that to? It's not a fan service here. It's a work of fiction that they present to us, and we take that.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be able to make that ourselves. That just bothers me.
I do take issue with a lot of the complaints that I've heard. Because I think they're just crybaby complaints.
Like, I am mad. I'm mad that Snoke didn't have a deeper backstory. I'm mad that Rey's parents meant nothing. But I'm also
mad that Phasma is gone.
Exactly.
Yeah, so mad about
but I
that.
understand, like, I because of my wants shouldn't be on screen because I want them.
I'm mad that now I know where blue milk comes from.
Right?
I didn't like it.
You like
I
that?
didn't like
bit?
seeing it. No, I'm just joking.
So I mean, that's my quick take. What is yours?
I think, I applaud Rian Johnson for what he did with it. And I think that was the bravest Star Wars movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think
for
I
sure.
think it took the saga to places that are not appreciated now, but down the road we'll appreciate. Unless J.J. Abrams comes in, changes everything back.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, Snoke, it was a hologram. It's not, Snoke's not really dead.
Right.
No, Phasma's okay. She just fell a deck down. She's okay. Unless J.J. comes in and changes everything that Rian Johnson changed from the Force, and he changes it back,
right,
which he's not going to do. I think it's the exact kind of movie the Star Wars saga needed.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
It doesn't bother me what we where we saw Luke Skywalker and how he ended up, and the whole like Luke would never do that. Yeah, Luke has always struggled, going back and forth, trying to fight, avenging and revenge, and stay on the light side of the Force. It's always been a struggle for him since the original trilogy. Well, and I know he wasn't in the prequels, but so it doesn't bother me to see that, he ended up kind of a jaded Jedi. I would expect nothing less. I loved it. Was my favorite Yoda scene ever.
It was amazing.
Favorite Yoda scene
ever.
Because I hate all that Dagobah shit from the Empire. Like, Empire is my favorite Star Wars movie, but I fast forward through the Dagobah stuff every time.
But it was great Yoda, and Papa Yoda at that.
I loved that Yoda. The Force Flight with Leia that everybody has a problem with, I'm with you. Right. I didn't really like it. But at the same time, consistently in these movies, you've seen the Force used in ways you didn't know the Force could be used.
Right.
Like healing.
So even though I didn't like it, it's not any more ridiculous than this little green puppet making an X-Wing lift out of the swamp.
Exactly.
So I don't think a lot of the arguments that you hear, these kind of crybaby fanboy arguments, is like, I did not like seeing Leia go. I think that would have been, now knowing what we know, that would have been the perfect way to end the Leia story.
Yeah.
I think in the trilogy.
I think so, yeah.
Because
there's so much shot. I mean, I don't know.
She pretty sure we probably go on for the rest of the episode.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But you get the gist.
And I'll stand by it, I'm good with my response there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what about today? I mean, are you less?
Once Rise of Skywalker came out, it made me understand that Last Jedi was unnecessary. It made me like that movie a lot less. And I saw it again in the past 48 hours.
No. I don't think you should say it was unnecessary, because it really was exactly what I said he wouldn't do, and that was JJ going back in.
Right, but that kind of, with those bookends, makes that middle part not needed. Like, every part about it,
That's unfair to that movie.
Okay.
To do that is unfair to that movie.
But I don't know.
Because I stand by what I said was, it was the kind of movie the Star Wars saga needed. I still agree with that. I still applaud Rian Johnson for what he did. And it is the bravest Star Wars movie.
I'll give it that.
Of the saga, of the 9-film saga.
I'll give it that. That's like saying the Chris Gaines album is Garth Brooks' bravest venture. I mean, does that make it?
No.
Does that make it worthy?
No.
Is Chris
because
Gaines worthy?
that was a commercial like cash in.
Yeah.
That's not what Ryan Johnson did.
I don't know. I don't know.
There's difference
looking
in being
back,
brave and then just trying to be, a novelty.
Yeah. Now, as you see with that review there, I said at first I loved The Last Jedi.
Uh-huh.
As time went on, with negative reviews, which of course Rise of Skywalker has as well, that made me realize I didn't like the movie as much as I thought. But with Rise of Skywalker, as time goes on, I feel like I love it more.
Yeah.
I love it.
What I heard was I had my own opinion until I read the internet.
I think so. I do agree with that. I do.
Heaven forbid I have my own opinion on something. The internet says I should feel this way. So, but this isn't about, I just thought it would be fun to go back and see what we said when that movie came out.
Yeah.
Now, take me to The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, man.
What do you think?
This was, now with the more I thought and sat upon the idea of The Last Jedi, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, of course, but this was, it's hard to explain it without sounding bad, but this was, I walked into Rise of Skywalker with none of the hype I had when I sat down for The Last Jedi, none of the hype I had even close to The Force Awakens, and it was the first time, and maybe it had the same feeling as Revenge of the Sith when I was there. Like, I was hyped for the previous two movies, and I just I was here for the ending, and soon into it, which I think you were a hater of.
Hate is a strong word.
Well, what I want to say, I think you like this the scroll, the title, like the scroll.
Oh,
yeah,
I did. Hate
That's my
scroll.
favorite one of any Star Wars movie.
No,
The Dead Speak.
The Dead Speak.
That is,
first of all, it was way too short.
that is effing awesome. Like when I read that, I'm like, oh, and then within 5 minutes, we're on Exegol, and he's searching for Palpatine. By the way, spoilers abound, of course.
Oh yeah.
But in that first 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, JJ has me by the scrotum again. I'm here. I'm ready for it. And I was like, I sat down comfortably when the movie started, and within 5 minutes, I was jazzed. I was ready for it, ready to go.
You
Ready
know
for
what
battle.
I took from that scroll?
What's that?
Palpatine has been laying in hiding all these years.
Yeah.
And when he decides to make his big comeback, he goes on Fox News. That's what I heard. That's what I read.
But I think it's great that,
Is that what he would do?
yeah.
Would he address the entire universe?
Yeah.
No.
It was a part of his play. He's so force sensitive, he can almost tell the future by manipulating things. He knows by doing that.
Clearly not.
Kylo Ren searches for him. He knows by Kylo Ren coming, him telling Kylo Ren what Rey is, he'll bring her to him, and the whole cycle will be complete. Like, he knows the system. He knows it. He's generations ahead of what's happening. Whenever Dooku's there, he's already prepping for Anakin. When Anakin is there, he's already prepping Luke. Whenever he's 2 steps, he's the Joker of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah,
he's 2 steps ahead.
but it never works out for him.
That's true. That's very true. But he's 2 steps ahead. But yeah, the first 5 minutes, I was 100% into it.
So
100%. Because by the way, I love Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
and I think now you can play this back in 2 years if you want, but at this moment, my favorite Star Wars character ever. Like, as far as character development, the depth, the acting job, the visuals of him, his weaponry, it's untouched.
I think Kylo Ren was very strong in this film.
Mm-hmm.
I will give you that. I think in the actor's name escapes me now.
Adam Driver.
Yeah. I think Adam Driver did a fantastic job in that movie.
There are moments like
until one scene that I was not a fan of.
Oh, which one's that?
The kiss at the end.
You didn't like that?
It was so I almost laughed out loud.
What?
Adam. I almost laughed out loud.
I gave a literal fist pump in the air.
Really? Because it looked like something from Days of Our Lives.
What? We knew that was coming the whole time.
Yeah, it was so cheesy.
I won't use the actual word, but in The Last Jedi, when you're having the bond for the first time, my wife leans over in the theater. She's like, they should just F right here. Just get it over with. The sexual tension. And she said it again when they were battling on the remnants of the Death Star.
Yeah.
And the waves are crashing. She's like, they should just bone and get it over with.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, man. And 30 minutes later, it was pretty close.
But it was so like...
I've wanted that since day
but
one.
But it's just the way it happened. Like, there were some audible giggles in the theater I was in when it happened.
We are skipping to the end. We probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
What did you think? So the opening you weren't a fan of.
I didn't like the scroll.
Really?
Let me talk about what I did like about it.
Yeah.
There were points of this film that like being a lifelong Star Wars fan, being of that age where this has always been part of my it was a big part of my childhood, and then we had the prequels. So I've always been into the Star Wars films, and there were parts of this movie that warmed my heart beyond belief.
I think that was the intention of the majority of the movie.
There really were. There were a lot of scenes where it just felt good to be there. But I think those scenes, and this is my overall take on the movie, I think those warm bursts of nostalgia were, knitted together in almost a haphazard narrative that didn't fulfill what it could have been. And I'll give you a prime example, and I have told you this before tonight. I think there was a lot of opportunity. And you know what? I'll go with what JJ created. So Palpatine has been the puppet master behind this whole thing. That's cool. Rey is actually a Palpatine. That's cool. If you're going to do that, then do justice to the Rey character and actually let her struggle with that in this film.
I think she did. You don't think there's any struggle?
No, I mean, and this was the example I gave you that you didn't like. So imagine when the Force lightning comes out and she blows up the ship and she thinks Chewie's on it. Mm-hmm. Imagine if Chewbacca had actually been on that ship.
But why would you want that?
That's see, you're misreading what I'm saying.
No. I mean,
I'm not saying, okay, take Chewbacca out of it. Say it was a character that you met at the beginning of the movie that you don't have a 40-year emotional tie to. But it's an important person to the story. And they're on the ship. And she blows that ship up with Force lightning. Imagine what that would do for her story and her struggle. But instead, JJ, not being brave, made you think, because, when I saw that Chewie wasn't on there, I breathed a sigh of relief.
Right.
To be fair. But I'm going to make you think Chewie's dead, and then we're going to, oh, no, there was another ship that nobody saw, not even the audience. Like, nobody knew it was there. It was another ship.
Well, so that's
why she blew up.
I've seen it a few times, or 3 times in theaters now, and it's there. It's a different ship. You see multiple ships.
Oh, really?
You do, I promise.
Now we're just grabbing
I'm
straws.
never saying we don't. You do.
But the point of it is
there
was an opportunity there to really do some in-depth storytelling and emotional struggle for Rey, which really didn't struggle that much after finding out she was a Palpatine.
But at that point in time, at that point in the movie...
At that point in time, there's too much going on, and you don't have time to devote to it.
You have 90 minutes to wrap up this 40-year saga, as well as the brand new realization that she is the granddaughter of the most evil person of all time. You can't do it. I don't think it's possible. I would prefer that roller coaster, that way, way, way low of like, oh my God, Chewbacca's dead, to the way, way, way high, he's alive. I would take that any day of the week over some random character we met 90 minutes ago, maybe died at our hands. Like, I'd prefer to be that emotional roller coaster. That's just the way I prefer that.
But every time there was an opportunity to do something with a lasting impact that there was a chance the fans might view as negative, JJ played it safe. He played it safe by making sure Chewie wasn't really on that ship when they had to wipe. By the way, I did love the character, the one that did the memory thing on C-3PO.
Oh, Babu Frick?
Yes. I love that character.
Yeah.
But then, this whole idea that C-3PO is going to have his memory wiped and he's not going to remember anything that's happened in this saga. And then at the end, it works. He gets his memory back up until about 2 days ago.
Yeah.
He doesn't, he remembers everything up until 2 days ago.
And they tease that beforehand. Doesn't R2 back up your memory units? But it's known he's not so,
But see, you could have.
But wouldn't you prefer to have C-3PO have his memory of all the 40 years you've been with him?
And that's the problem with this movie.
Wouldn't you prefer it? Like,
is that nothing is earned in this film.
It's like a checklist of the movie. If you asked me beforehand, a multiple choice checklist, would you want Chewie to die or live in this movie? I would check, I want him to live. Do you want C-3PO to keep his memory or lose it? I want him to keep that memory. Like, it's a checklist that 100% was checked all the way down for me. I have no qualms about it.
But if there's no risk involved with any of these choices, why even make it part of the story to begin with?
Because, there were things that, like, Kylo Ren died. That's one check I'm fully aware he couldn't redeem himself. It's pretty much like 10,000 times Galactic Hitler.
Yeah, I know. Like, for all you Kylo Ren fans, let's
Yeah.
remember this this movie opened with a mass murder by Kylo Ren.
Right, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
not a great guy. Oh, I'm sorry. He wasn't Kylo Ren at the end, though. He was
Ben Solo.
He was Ben.
Yeah. Well, you don't like what? Oh, whoa. You're not a Ben Solo fan?
I just have a problem with, like, we're supposed to, once he becomes Ben, we're supposed to forget everything that's happened.
But I've
accept him as a hero of the story.
seen that struggle since day one. In The Force Awakens, I watched today. That scene on the bridge with when he's killing his father.
Yeah, I mean, because it was basically the same speech at the end.
Wasn't that brilliant? Like almost verbatim, word for
Brilliant?
like. Oh man, that got me good.
But at the same time, even though I have a problem with the storytelling of that, I loved the scene that Han is there. And
Why did you like the storytelling? I'm confused. I thought that was brilliant writing. Like to have that almost verbatim speech, but now instead of having struggles going to the dark side, he's having struggles turning light. Because it's that ultimate, like 100% redemption.
I think a better story would just make Kylo Ren the bad guy.
No, it's not what he is.
Make him the bad guy of the story.
Since day one, it's not what he's been. That's not what he is at all. It's not. It's even Vader, like the story of Anakin Skywalker, which Kylo Ren just idolized. That's what he was. It was that up and down.
See, that's one of the things I loved about The Last Jedi is that by the end of that movie, Kylo Ren is primed to be the big bad of the galaxy.
Kind of.
In
don't forget
classic J.J. Abrams form.
Don't forget that Praetorian Guard
down from it.
No, I still didn't see that. That when he slices Snoke in half and teams up with Rey to take down the guards.
But why did he slice Snoke in half?
Because he wants ultimate power to be the supreme leader.
Right. He could have been, and that could have been like. I just think the opportunity was there to not even do the Palpatine thing and tell a story where Kylo Ren becomes the supreme leader.
And once again, on the checklist.
And is the bad guy you have to take down.
Adam, do you want Palpatine to return in this movie? Yes. That's a big yes for me. 100%.
Ian McDermott was pretty fun.
He's great.
It was fun to see.
He's always great, yeah.
Even though he looks like
That's what's smart. Yeah, they're smart. Well, maybe just lucky. George Lucas was.
And some of the set and the effects of his, I don't know, cave of Siths or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
It was all good, yeah.
There was, like I said, when I left, and I should say, I enjoyed this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I did enjoy the movie. It was a fun ride to have. Not great storytelling.
Wow, I think exquisite storytelling. I'm serious.
I think Last Jedi was, and I will contend this, and I will always say this. I think is a much better story.
Wow. So
because there's real struggle. Go and see what the struggle that Luke is having, and you see Luke, like I said in that clip, becomes jaded.
So you're forgetting
and that's a great angle to go with the Luke character.
I think you're forgetting the majority of the movie is not about Luke or Rey. Like I watched Last Jedi again 2 days ago, 36 hours ago, and I've seen The Rise of Skywalker 2 weeks ago, and I can tell you almost every planet they were on, A Rise of Skywalker, almost every character, every plot point, and I saw Last Jedi 2 days ago for the 5th time maybe. I can't tell you any planets, any plot points. I don't even remember the characters' names. Benicio del Toro's character, what's her name? Horgo, whatever I saw it 2 days ago. I can't remember it. That's how unmemorable that story is.
I think it would have been better, and in The Last Jedi even, I think if it had been Leia that flew the ship into the, was it a Star Destroyer?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. See, I think that would have been like a heroic end to Leia.
But remember, she died after the movie was made, and then she died like, oh, hell.
Right. Because, I don't know. I just, she wasn't around during the filming of this movie, so her ending had to be, piecemealed together through scenes from other movies and, smoke and mirrors. But I don't know. I mean, well, maybe you can explain this to me. So, did she finally get through to Kylo Ren at the end? To Ben?
Yeah.
She finally connected with Ben?
Yeah.
But she just did it at will.
Well,
why didn't she do it in The Force Awakens and she could have saved Han Solo?
She had to use, much like Ben, or much like Luke in The Last Jedi, to project like that. It's your life force, pretty much. If you're that old and that weak, to project like that across the galaxy, as we saw with Luke,
But why do it now instead of doing it in The Force Awakens?
Because they were like the final hour. It was death time. It was going to. I mean, the Emperor is back. The Sith fleet is going to attack in a few hours.
Yeah, that's another good point. Where'd that fleet come from?
It's on the visual dictionary. They've been building for. It is. It's there. They've been building underground for decades. Yeah, that's a thing.
In the unknown regions of the galaxy.
Yeah, Exegol. What a great
Exegol.
I can tell you that.
Convenient.
I can tell you that and spell you that. Can you give me one planet from The Last Jedi? That's what I thought.
Cantobite.
No, because we bitch about it all the time. That's different. But yeah, I think it was so good, and I'm almost tired of people saying. I just think we have to get rid of the nostalgia. That's all I'm saying.
You think we have to?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not giving a list at all. Give me.
Wait, but that's what you love a lot about this movie.
I mean, I'm trying to give a long-term point here, but in 6 months, in June, or let's say June, let's give our favorite Star Wars, let's give our list from worst to best.
Okay.
Let's let that settle down a bit. I just think people put too much emphasis on the original trilogy that shouldn't be there. Is that bad to say?
Oh, I mean, from a story standpoint.
Yeah, I love them, but you can't deny the acting is much better now. You can't deny the effects are much better. You can't deny, everything that makes it a movie. I'm not saying I like them more. I'm just saying they are understandably better movies.
And
they're going.
Are you including the prequels in that?
No. the sequel trilogy. I think the prequels aged badly very quickly.
Yeah.
I remember even seeing the prequels.
The prequels feel very sterile.
Yeah. Once again today, while my daughter napped, I watched episode 1.
Yeah,
I was trying to prep for today.
They feel real sterile, and I think that's the problem. They feel too polished, and I know this was like a pristine time, and then everything looks better. It was before the Empire, so you kind of everything looks fresh and new, and then the Empire just wrecked the galaxy. That's the story they're telling, but yeah, I always felt like. It almost, you can tell that was shot in green screen studios.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Not that these movies weren't.
Yeah, but it's so much more, yeah.
Yeah, I will definitely agree with you that the acting is better. And I think that has to do with, those prequels were a George Lucas production 100%. And these were not. So I think having that, that input makes them better movies. Hey, look, like I said, I think the Rise of Skywalker, it was enjoyable. I mean, you can ask my wife. Like when we were leaving, I was like, that was fun. But it wasn't.
That was a question mark at the end. That was fun.
But it just wasn't. I mean, it was fun.
What would you?
But nothing was earned.
And I don't mean like a 30-minute
in this movie.
A 30-minute rundown, but give me 10-ish bullet points. What you would like to have seen on the screen. What would you have preferred to happen? You want Kylo Ren to be the big bad. You want him to be the Emperor / Vader at the end.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I think the whole Rey.
You think Rey being no one?
I think that's a better story.
That's a terrible story.
No, it's because it's just like Luke Skywalker.
Well, Luke Skywalker.
Anakin. Anakin Skywalker.
Well, Anakin's born of nothing. He's like the Jesus of the galaxy. He is. He's born of a virgin. He's born of nothing.
Yeah.
If anything, he has the biggest backstory of them all.
But if Rey is going to be the person to come and kind of bring the balance back to the Force, then she could have a very similar lineage.
Yeah, but she actually has parents.
But then you had everybody's like, oh, we want to know Rey's backstory. She's got to be somebody. So JJ serviced that.
Yeah.
That's what, you know what it comes down to? That is probably the number one issue I take with this movie, is that they sit down with a list of, okay, what do you think people don't like? All right, well, let's change that. Let's change that. You know what? People have always complained that Chewie didn't get a medal at the end of Star Wars.
You didn't like that?
Let's give Chewie a medal.
You didn't like that?
Well, I think you and I disagree with whose medal it was. I think it was Han's. I think that's why Leia was holding it.
I don't care. I mean, whoever's it is, that's he needs it. I mean, what's wrong with that?
No, I mean, it's just like, this was the movie to fix Star Wars. This was like the Star Wars Band-Aid.
Doesn't everything? I mean, if they had a new Avengers movie that righted the wrongs of the old ones, I would love it.
I'm glad you mentioned the Avengers, because I can, and look, through all of the films of the MCU, it would be very easy to sit down and pick out the weakest films and what movies worked better than others. But I will tell you this, everything that happened in Avengers Endgame is earned. In Infinity War and Endgame. because and part of that is because you've had so much time with these
we
characters.
have, 23 movies and 12 years.
Here's a prime example of what I'm talking about. And I can use in-game and I've told you this too. At the end of the Rise of Skywalker, when everything looks dire, and Poe's doing everything he can, and Rey's doing everything she can, and they're on the Star Destroyer that now all Star Destroyers have Death Star technology.
It's 40 years in
We
the
can't
future.
get away from it, can we? I mean, I was hoping that this would be a Death Star free movie, but no. Everything's got a Death Star cannon. All these Star Destroyers have Death Star cannons. So all this is happening, and it looks dire. Nobody's going to win. And Poe looks up, and here comes Lando and a whole fleet of ships. And the reaction that Poe has, you would think he and Lando go back decades. Because that's who we are. We go back decades with Lando.
Lando's he's a
That's
legend.
the response we should have.
Lando's a legend.
Poe barely knows this guy.
That is like...
And he's like, oh, and so here's the difference. In Avengers Endgame, it's earned when it's dire.
He's a legend.
And Captain America straps his shield, and he's going to go after Thanos, even if it kills him. He's gonna fight till he dies. And then he hears, on your left. A very similar scene, because it comes in Poe's earpiece. Lando says something or something. But in Avengers Endgame, you hear, on your left. And you know that's Falcon, and even the history of that line going back to Winter Soldier. And it means so much more to the character and to us as the audience that's the first thing you hear, and then everybody that got dusted comes through the portals.
It was that's a big moment, but I think that's unfair.
But it's earned, and it wasn't earned in Star Wars.
But it's unfair to judge because we have 40-ish characters on screen we all know and love, and there aren't 40 characters in the Star Wars saga that are around. So it's not even possible to have that scale of it.
Yeah, but
you have to have those nameless
I'm just
ships.
talking about Poe's reaction.
Yeah,
and the whole it just seemed, again, it was forced. Just like Palpatine being in this movie was forced.
What?
No pun intended.
What? I mean,
there's nothing.
Lando was a legend.
There's nothing in the previous films to give you any indication that Palpatine is behind.
It's like
all
a
of
modern
this.
soldier on foot about to walk into Iran, and he's going to be gunned down, and then General Patton comes in the radio. I got you, Sonny. Like, oh God, Patton. It's the same thing. He's a legend. He's a military legend.
Though it was fun to see Lando.
Yeah, he's old. Like, he's 83 years old,
Yeah.
82. I checked it out. He's in the 80s.
But I kind of figured that's who it was in that whole thing.
I must be like a little kid. Like, I didn't know until he took his helmet off.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, it was
Really?
what, 10 seconds?
Yeah.
It wasn't like half the movie. I was confused.
I did.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I bet this is Lando.
And that whole
look,
scene,
it's
like
Lando.
that whole, just everything about this movie. It's I
What
love
about,
it.
Did you like the new characters that were introduced?
Love them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the lack of Rose, which you can't stand by the Last Jedi Rose. I mean, she does not deserve death threats. It's not her fault.
Yeah.
But that character is just so worthless.
Oh, look, apparently I'm having a conversation with internet fanboys.
no, internet fanboys. No, it's cool to hate.
Rose should not have been shelved in this movie like she was.
It's cool to hate Rise of Skywalker now. Don't you get it?
No,
I'm the
okay.
anti-fanboy right now. I'm the anti-internet guy. It is. It's cool to like.
Is it cool to hate Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah,
now?
it's the thing now.
Oh.
Like, for real.
Well, I know critically, but the reason why the critics didn't like it is because it was so haphazardly put together.
As a Star Wars fan, if you want to get angry, go on any Star Wars like Facebook post, read the comment section.
Really?
Like 99.9% hate on Rise of Skywalker. It's weird.
But Star Wars fans are notorious for not.
Yeah, they can never.
They're not
That's
happy.
why Lucas
They can't be
sold
happy.
it off, and Death. I mean,
Yeah.
even Daisy Ridley got ready for social media.
Did you see the picture of George Lucas and Baby Yoda?
Yeah, I did see that.
Where he's holding Baby
I did,
Yoda?
yeah.
That's got to be from Mandalorian season 2, right?
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of the future of Star. I think, for me personally, it may be over. I'll still love it and watch it, but the hype is gone.
I think the future is probably for the foreseeable future stuff like The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Because I don't really read because I don't care what other people think.
Yeah. I'm always curious to see that. I mean, it won't affect my judgment, clearly, because people hate this.
Are you sure?
People hate The Rise of Skywalker.
I just played audio where
I
you
know,
said it did.
but that brought to light. Whereas this here is a little like, I'm like, screw you guys.
Is there Mandalorian hate now, or is everybody still kind of universally love it?
People still love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Got some beef with that.
Really?
Let's
hear
I
about it.
love The Mandalorian, but I think it's on the same level. You can't like that, which is 100% fan service as well. which makes me love it.
I never said
which makes
there
me
was
love
too much fan service.
And I'm not hating on it because I love the Rise of Skywalker fan service. I love Mandalorian fan service, but you can't hate one for doing the exact same thing the other does.
Yeah,
you just can't.
I agree with that,
Yeah.
and I don't.
Like Baby Yoda, that is literally regurgitating a character we know and love.
Yeah.
In baby form. It's Muppet Babies,
It is.
which I love. There's no beef, but like if you want to bash on something for bringing up nostalgia reasons,
Yeah.
literal Baby Yoda.
What's your? But you said you have beef. What's your beef with Mandalorian?
Just that people love that so much and don't like Rise of Skywalker. I'm confused. Like I love them both.
Oh, so you don't really have a problem with the
No,
with
just
the
the
Mandalorian.
the way it's
But I'm
conceived.
sensing that maybe by the end you didn't love it as much as you did.
No,
in the
I did.
beginning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did. I think that gave me a good thirst quench of Star Wars. But then when the real stuff came out, Star Wars to me is family, lineage, the Force, lightsabers. That's what it is to me.
You almost got a lightsaber at the end.
That's true. Yeah,
Of the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
Which apparently that blade, I didn't know this until well after watching that episode. Oh, spoilers for Mandalorian.
Oh
by the
yeah.
way.
Whoops.
But the blade used at the end of Mandalorian when Gus from Breaking Bad cuts himself out of the TIE fighter, that goes back to Mandalorian lore. I
Really?
didn't realize that is actually a cherished relic for the Mandalorians. I didn't realize, and I guess it's referenced in one of the animated series, maybe. But yeah, I really enjoyed the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And look, like I said, there were parts of the Rise of Skywalker that I love seeing Luke Skywalker again.
And like to me, actual Luke Skywalker, like it was 180 degree of the character development. What do you
but
say?
see, that's what I'm saying. He made that turn in The Last Jedi,
Yeah.
which prompted him. I mean,
Have you ever heard Luke Skywalker's, like, even before Last Jedi came out, like his interviews for it and stuff?
he was not happy.
He was not
with,
pleased
he
like,
didn't-
of the. And if the person that's played that character for 40 years isn't happy with the character development, it's got to say something, right?
Well, I mean,
Like he's much happier. Whenever the story is, you can look it up. Whenever they got the call, the cast did, especially Daisy Ridley and John Boyega, they were together, like eating or something. They got the call that JJ is coming back to write and direct, and they broke down in tears and like hugged each other.
Are you sure that's true?
That's what they say in the interview. Yeah,
I don't know.
I love the digs, just dialogue wise, to Rian Johnson's writing and his movie. If they're in
there are a lot. Yeah,
the second and third time I watched it, it was much more.
there's a lot.
The first thing Skywalker says when she throws the
That's no way to treat a
a Jedi's weapon deserves more respect than that.
Yeah.
Like hell yes it does. You don't comedically toss it over your shoulder.
But I take that as a lesson he learned through what he went through in the previous film.
yeah, we'll say that. We'll water it down like
Again,
that.
I will stand by what I said in my initial review. Like over history, not now, years from now, that movie is going to be viewed as an important piece of Star Wars. Because it is. It's the bravest story in any Star Wars movie.
That is the Chris Gaines of Star Wars. I agree. That would you not agree that Chris Gaines is the bravest Garth Brooks recording?
No, we talked about this. It was a commercial cash-in.
I think it's the bravest Garth Brooks recording. What are you, more of a Fences kind of guy?
I would say his bravest recording is when he covered Beth for the Kiss Your Ass tribute.
Oh, don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
That must be a GB deep cut.
No. It's a Kiss tribute album.
What do you think they'll ever? My question back to the nostalgia of the original Star Wars trilogy. I grew up with them, know them, love them, of course. But will it ever be, just accepted that they're not as good as people say they are?
What, the original?
Yeah, as bad as that.
No.
You don't think so?
No. The Empire Strikes Back is still a really good movie.
It is, but I'm saying, as far as filmmaking goes,
Do you have problems with Return of the Jedi?
No, that's my At one point in my countdown, that was my favorite Star Wars movie ever.
Yeah, but not now.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
If you ask me at this moment, like this second, Rise of Skywalker takes it. But in 6 months, ask me again.
Yeah.
That's why I want the countdown in the summertime when it's fresh.
Yeah, we can do
We've
that.
settled down. But at this moment,
I don't think you or Josh are ever going to budge from your hatred for The Last Jedi. Even though clearly I have audio of you saying you enjoyed it.
yeah, it's not hatred. Like I like it better than all of the prequels.
Okay.
Yeah, see, it's not so bad. So it's not even bottom 3.
Though I've watched a little bit of the prequels here lately, and there's some enjoyable parts.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith
of
isn't
Revenge
terrible.
of the Sith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not
That's
terrible.
the one I'm talking. Yeah, that was the most recent one.
It's not terrible. But once again, it's that third part just quick wrap up. I mean, an hour into the Revenge of the Sith, Anakin's still Anakin. He's just kind of a little more angry. And like the last 30 minutes is like,
dun dun dun.
Yeah. It hits the fan quickly.
Yeah, I think that's all I really can pick apart. The Rise of Skywalker.
You think so? Like count down the
on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah,
it's a 7.
Ooh,
7.5.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. That's rough.
Yeah. It's a 7.5.
That's very rough.
That's still good. It was good.
Man,
I enjoyed it.
like to me,
I had fun with it. I did have fun watching it.
Dirty Work with Norm Macdonald is a 7.5.
That just speaks to your choice of movies.
No, it's like it's better than All Right. That's a 7.5. Right? It's like think about
Dirty Work is not a 7.5.
Think about a test in school. It's a 75. It's like ugh.
Dirty Work to me is like 4.
I mean, the Chris Farley, the
See,
skunk.
you only see like 7 to 10. I think for you, a more fair scale would be on a scale of 1 to 3.
No.
On a scale of 1 to 3,
There's some. I can lower.
I
the
would
movies.
give The Force Awakens a 2.
The Force Awakens. We're on that now.
Oh no,
what
sorry.
would you do for a sequel?
The Rise of Skywalker.
So you like? You can't say Last Jedi is your favorite of the sequel trilogy, though, can you?
Absolutely, I can. Absolutely, I can. Absolutely.
Oh man, the Twitter's gonna just be.
It
hating on this.
goes The Last Jedi, The Force Awakens,
Wow.
Rise of Skywalker.
Wow. Huh.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't. Well, we're going in circles, but my closing statement.
Yes, Mr. Pewitt.
You can have yours too.
Did you swear under oath during this impeachment?
My closing statement. I think The Last Jedi. You may think opposite, and I think you do, but it advanced the story none. It closed off. Rey is no one. Snoke is dead. It just closed off a lot of stuff. Deaths happened that had no resolution. The past was closed and had no resolution or hope for the future. It closed off. It had no advancement of the story whatsoever. In Rise of Skywalker, not only advanced it, but wrapped it up in a beautiful present that we all should respect. That's my closing statement.
Here's my closing statement. The Rise of Skywalker, though a fun, nostalgic ride, was just a rehash of scenes from previous movies.
What?
Produced solely to try to service those disenfranchised with the franchise. And on the level of being a fun popcorn movie that's a 2 on a scale of 1 to 3, I enjoyed The Rise of Skywalker. But wait, hold on a second.
Yeah.
The end scene where Rey is like, "Oh, my name is Rey Skywalker."
Yeah, hell.
You like that?
Hell yes.
You like that?
With the twin sons, John Williams and she and BB-8 watching the sons? Oh, hell yes.
Okay.
100%. You didn't like that?
No, I did not like that. I did not like. She was like, "Yeah, I'm Rey Skywalker." No, you're not.
Like, that was fine, but when they showed the sunset and the music hit, I was crying.
Yeah.
Straight tears.
See, I think you and I come from different preferences of where we like the Force to generate. I like the idea that the Force can be random and that random people can be sensitive to the Force. I like that idea.
They can, but that's when you have your Mace Windu's compared to your Anakins.
What's wrong with Mace Windu?
I mean, you saw what happened to Mace Windu. Come on.
Had a purple lightsaber.
I know he did.
If I ever go to Disney World, I'm getting a purple lightsaber.
Yeah, I'm saying those are your randos. That's your randos.
I wouldn't call Mace Windu a rando.
Your Qui-Gon Jinn is just a random person with the Force. Why not have the lineage and the story of a Luke and a Han, or a Luke and an Anakin?
So you like to be elitist with your Force, that only a family. You look at the Force as like it's the basically the royal family of the universe.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That you have to be from this family in order to be Force sensitive.
I mean, to have.
I don't.
When the Force, I love the Force Awakens. Always have, always will. But if I had a beef, which most people did to the point, but now it makes total sense, was the fact that the grandson, Kylo Ren, of Darth Vader, maybe the strongest, without a doubt, the highest midichlorian holder in the galaxy, more than Yoda even. His descendant, his grandson, was defeated, like hand to hand, with a person with Rey, who for the first time held a lightsaber. But now it makes more sense because she is the granddaughter of the greatest evil emperor of all time.
Do you think Finn is Force sensitive?
Yeah, that's what he was going to say.
Yeah.
That's what JJ he told us.
Yeah. I'm glad to. Yeah.
At first, I thought it was going to be like a. I
Do
love
you like that?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That he's Force sensitive? I did
But
too.
I mean, it's kind of like a.
Which I would have busted out laughing if he'd said that.
That he loved her?
Yeah.
I mean, sure. I mean, everyone. Yeah. I'm fine with that. I think some people had issues with the Last Jedi ending of the boy in the broom. That was all right.
Yeah. See, that's what I liked about it. Like,
But I don't
want
wanna
to be random.
That's fine to do that, but don't give me a movie about him. I don't care about him.
I didn't say I wanted to see a movie about the
I'm
broom
saying
kid.
it's fine to have that. Just don't tell me about him.
Also, I think Palpatine was just shoehorned into this out of nowhere.
What? But
There was no indication ever that it was Palpatine.
I mean, even if let's say that is the case, awesome. Like I said, if you ask me, Adam, do you want Palpatine to come back to the next Star Wars? Hell yes, I do. No question
and
about it.
maybe that's the problem with this is my closing statement.
This is the other one.
This is my closing statement, part D. The Rise of Skywalker, the ultimate fan film of Star Wars.
No.
The ultimate Star Wars fan film is The Rise of Skywalker.
I mean, you act like things
Let's
happen we wanted.
throw out good storytelling and a cohesive plot, and let's just do a fan film. We'll bring back Palpatine, we'll bring back Lando, and we'll make Rey Palpatine's granddaughter.
But wouldn't you want all these?
Sorry, that's not fair. I didn't want to go that route with this.
Wouldn't you? I mean, before you saw this and if you had the option, JP, Ian he wants to come back and come back as the Emperor. Would you like that? I would imagine you would
mean
say
like
yes.
like as an evil Force ghost?
Exactly what he was. Like the Emperor's coming. You wouldn't want that.
No.
So when you saw the trailer and you heard
now-
his laugh, you weren't pumped and hyped. Really?
For nostalgic, yes. But do you realize what that did to the end of the original trilogy now? It was all for nothing.
Ish, yeah. Yeah.
They didn't really get rid of him.
I mean,
Anakin gave his life for nothing.
They had 30, 40 years of peace. What else do you want?
Until the First Order.
Yeah, what else do you want?
Oh, yeah. And let's talk about the Knights of Ren. Oh, the Knights of Ren. The Knights of Ren. They were nothing.
They were something.
They were nothing.
Only when it was hand-to-hand against Ben Solo were they nothing. But besides that, they were taking whoever they wanted out. And I just now realized the name Kylo comes from his old life. Isn't that crazy?
His old life.
From the Skywalker lineage, the Sky, the KY, to the Han Solo, the KY Lo. Yeah,
that makes KY Lo.
Yeah, KY. And of course, Knights of Ren, he was the leader of Ren. So, bam, Kylo Ren. Like, so much sense. I think, in general, once again, I saw Last Jedi 36 hours ago, but J.J. Abrams is such a better director.
Really?
Just the way he's just a filmmaker. Much better.
Because there's a lot of Oscar talk. Well, I guess the Oscar nominations have come
for
out. But there was a lot of
Knives Out.
Knives Out. Have you seen it?
No, I'm not. With that RJ connected, I'm good.
With the what?
The Ryan Johnson name to it. I'm good.
I'm really anxious to see that. Here's a really good movie.
I'm sure it is. He should stick with that. He should stick with
I
art
bet
house.
you would like. I bet you would like Knives Out. You love Clue.
I like Clue. I wouldn't say I love Clue.
I've heard you say you love Clue.
I like whodunits.
You know what I love? Clue.
But until I get that Last Jedi stink out of my mouth, I'm Ryan Johnson.
Did you not like Looper?
It was all right. I mean, it was all right.
I thought Looper was good.
But just watching the storytelling, it's like it's like a wrestling match. You have your flippies and your good stuff, then you have your in-ring storytellers, your J.J. Abrams. The first 10 minutes, whenever
I don't think J.J. Abrams is a great storyteller.
You don't think so?
No,
what?
Because even The Force Awakens was not great storytelling. It was fun.
What?
I still love The Force Awakens.
Twist,
I
dip,
was
turn.
so happy when I saw The Force Awakens.
I mean, you can't say.
If anything, JJ is the flippy
What? But Ryan, there's
pro
no
wrestling guy.
Ryan Johnson was telling no story. There was no plot, like nothing.
Ryan Johnson
is like, oh, that was gonna be a story, but it's not. Oh, this was gonna be a story, but it's not.
JJ is the John Cena. Ryan Johnson is the Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh God, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Oh yeah.
Just the filmmaking.
Oh yeah.
Just watching that Rise of Skywalker again. He did things that Last Jedi couldn't do.
J.J. Abrams is Matt Hardy version 1.
5 years ago, you were worshiping this man's feet.
I love The Force Awakens. I like J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
I think that, not to get off topic, but I really liked his Star Trek movies.
Yeah.
I thought his Star Trek stuff was
We've talked about it before. I can't imagine having that much. Like The Force Awakens. Imagine the night before that premiere, the sleep he had, if any.
Yeah.
And can you imagine the fear and like the anxiety for that?
Yeah. Had to be deep.
That's one of the biggest
I
things.
thought Super 8 was a really good movie, too.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed Super
Yeah.
8. I like that, especially Super 8 feels like a Spielberg movie.
Mm.
JJ should direct the next season of Stranger Things.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious what happens in the future of Star Wars. I'm sad.
But I do want to go back to the Mandalorian a little bit. So I guess the last time we talked, we were 3, 4 episodes? What was your favorite episode of season 1?
Man, was it 2, 3? I should go back and rewatch. I think 2. When you kind of see, I believe it was 2, where the Jawas, and you see the child's actual powers.
Yeah.
Or maybe 3 when he takes him back, but then has the change of heart to go save him from it.
That was a good one.
That whole plot there. For a while, like the middle, I won't say it slowed down for a bit, but it's kind of like a location/monster of the week.
See, I like the prisoner episode.
Yeah.
Where you went and it was like that cat and mouse on that. Yeah, I just really like the feel of that episode.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I think the digs that are taken throughout that season, well, a couple of times, at Stormtroopers is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like Bill Burr's comment. It's like he was what do you say? He was a Imperial sharpshooter.
Yeah.
And Mandalorian says something about his aim. He's like, I was on a Stormtrooper. And then that whole Taika Waititi moment with the Stormtroopers at the end of the last episode was pretty funny.
Just a few hours ago, this recording, they're saying that Taika Waititi he's been asked to direct the next Star Wars film.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Brace yourselves, kids.
Yeah. We'll see how comedic that is.
Well, what did you end up landing on Thor Ragnarok?
It's all right. Still not not in top 10 MCU movies. Way too comedic. Way too. I mean, it's fun. It's good, sure, but
There's a lot of good comedy in The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, is there?
Oh, yeah.
Like, well, is there? I mean, not as much as. Not
I
even
love
close.
you, Ray. I love you, Kylo.
Oh God. Hey, and the ultimate story arc. I don't know if you noticed this, but we have, of course, the classic Han Solo and Princess Leia. The "I love you" and Han Solo's response is "I know." Mm-hmm. In that terrible, terrible Solo movie, we have him speaking to a young Lando, and Lando says, "I hate you," and Han Solo says, "I know."
Yeah.
And then at the very end, whenever the ghost, the memory of Han Solo comes back to Ben Solo, Ben Solo's going to tell him that I love you, but before he can say it, the ghost of Han Solo says, "I know."
Yeah.
Boom! Right there in the
but
chest.
you don't even like Han Solo.
What? I know, but that's how.
Did that hurt?
No, what's that?
When you just hit yourself?
No. You like watching the movie? No. But it was fantastic. Like that arc
but
made me.
You hate Han Solo.
I know, but that's how how great that writing was. For a second, I'm like, you know what? That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, there was also the line that's always in Star Wars a couple of times.
Oh, like I have a bad feeling about this, or yeah.
Don't tell me the odds.
Yeah. Well, you have to have that. You have to have a.
I know.
What's the?
See what I did there?
Mm-hmm. What's the yell? Oh no, this last night.
The famous Hollywood yell.
Yeah. I couldn't spot it in this one, but it has to be in there.
Oh, it was in there. Oh, it was at the very beginning.
Was it really?
Yeah, it's close to the beginning. Wilhelm.
The Wilhelm scream. Yep, that's it. Yeah. But that opening with JJ's filmmaking, so we have Kylo Ren going to Exegol looking for this beacon of the Emperor, and it's kind of a close-in shot of a battlefield, and you see Kylo Ren, which you assume to be full of an army taking on all these different warriors and soldiers. It zooms out with these smoking dead bodies, and it's just Kylo Ren walking through the woods. He is a badass that took like 50 men out by himself.
Okay, so if you're in the edge of the unknown region or unknown galaxy, whatever it is, and you've created this like army of Star Destroyers and found people to be on the ship somewhere, and you've got your cave of Siths, would you not make sure that there wasn't a beacon that existed that would take you right to them?
Well, no, he wanted that. He wanted to be found by Kylo Ren to get his message to Rey to bring it. Yeah, it was all part of the plan. It was part. It was. It was.
Yeah.
He's always a step ahead. And that first scene where Kylo Ren's taking out the people and finds that piece, that's Mustafar, where Anakin got burnt to a crisp.
Right, he was burned. Yeah,
It's all.
I did recognize that.
Once again, a planet that means something compared to whatever's happening in Last Jedi, casinos and purple turtlenecks.
There's always weird creatures in Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
It's like a.
I mean, Babu Frick is great.
Yeah.
You can't deny that.
He was great.
Yeah.
No, I cannot deny that. I cannot deny that. He was a great character.
Yeah.
Do your impression of him again.
It's got to be in the moment. I can't do it on the spot. I can't.
Do it.
I can't on the spot. It's not how it works.
Just say, hey, hey.
Hey, hey.
No.
It can't be on the spot. I love Babu Frick. I want to plush
Who voiced?
I forget her name, but it was the same lady who did Moaning Myrtle in the Harry Potter movies.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's Moaning Myrtle.
That was a great character.
Yeah.
Did you like Poe's ex-girlfriend?
Oh, Zori?
Mm-hmm.
She was, it was cool. It was a good backstory, kind of showing that he was a spice runner and that whole deal. What's wrong?
No,
What's wrong?
I think that was weak.
I mean, if there's a weak moment of the movie, it's
and
that
I think had that been in The Last Jedi, people like you and our very good friend Josh would be like, and what's the deal with Tori or Bori or whatever her name is? Why is she even in there? You didn't even see her face. It's Kerry Russell.
That's right. You could do that. But, I mean, naturally, that's like I just told you her name.
So stupid. You had to go and... Why would she even give him that? She's been trying to get that medallion so she could get off the planet. And she's going to hand it to Poe? She's just going to hand it to him?
Why do you think it is I can tell you her name, but I honestly 100% cannot tell you the general's name who took over Leia's spot in Last Jedi, which she has...
It was Ellie.
No, what's her name?
Ellie?
No, well, she has 2 hours of screen time. Like, what is that character's name?
Laura Dern.
No, see? You see what I'm talking about?
Jurassic Park.
Why would I know Zori, but I don't know that?
Because you've just recently seen this 3 times.
No, but I saw Last Jedi more recently.
Yeah, but you hate watched it.
That's all I'm saying.
You hate watched it.
It's more memorable.
You hate watched that
No.
like I hate listening to podcasts.
But I've non-hate watched it twice. It just stick with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
I don't think we can go any further with this.
Yeah. Oh, and the planet they were on with Zori and Babu Frick was Kajimi, by the way. It's a planet that you can remember because it means something.
I honestly couldn't have told you that. Like you remembered it. I didn't remember Tori's name.
Zori.
Hey, how about Lando? Like trying to pick up a girl 30 years his younger.
Well, so I read about that.
No, they should be like 50 years younger than
I spent some time with the visual dictionary, see?
Uh-huh.
And so what happened? After the Empire fell...
Which could be why you know all these planets.
No. No. After the Empire... Because I would know the Last Jedi planets then.
No, you didn't study those.
After the Empire fell, the remnants of that, which would become the First Order, would go on as like a revenge plot to all the main generals and the higher-ranking people in the military would kind of like kidnap their kids and do bad things to them, like still give them hell afterwards. And so Orlando had like an older daughter, 10, 12 years old, was kidnapped by the Legion of the First Order. And so he never knew what happened to his daughter. And so by that lady's, by her coming around, not in the least was saying that she was his daughter, but his daughter would be around that age.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a redemption, like he could help her with the daughter. That totally should have been beefed out more in the movie, understandably so, but that's what that was. Because at first I was like, I'm not going to say it's his daughter, is it? Or is he trying to get with her? But it made more sense.
Let's go find out together.
Yeah.
I got a Millennium Falcon full of Colt 45.
But pretty much it's his own personal redemption for his own daughter that he lost.
That's sweet.
Yeah. See?
I mean, I didn't get that from the movie.
Right, yeah.
Because again,
But the movie's almost 3 hours
we had to
long.
give Chewie a medal.
Oh, that was 3 seconds you can't get back. That is great. 40 years, 3 seconds for a 40-year payoff.
And that's
give it to
why
me again.
it was in the movie.
Give it to me. Why
Some
would you
people
not
like
want
you
that?
would say, why would you not want that?
If you had a list, hey, do you not want Chewie to get a medal or do you want him to get a medal? Give him the medal. Show me the medal.
Hey, and one last thing, and I promise this is one last thing. And I know it sounds like I hated this movie, which I did not.
You gave it a dirty work score. Of course you hate it.
I said it's a solid 7.5 out of 10.
Is it like chairman of the board level for you? Is that what it is?
No, that's like a 3. 2. It's a 2.
Like a old Yahoo Serious vehicle?
I'm trying to think of the worst movie I've ever seen.
Well, if you listen to Vulture.com, the worst movie of the 2010s, out of over 5,000 theatrically released movies, was Avengers Endgame. No joke.
That's hipster journalism.
Yeah.
Hashtag hipster journalism. I just quoted something or created something right there. I would like to see that take off.
Yeah.
I would like to see these hipster journalists be called hipster journalists.
You can do it.
There was one. So that character, what was her name?
Which one?
The one with Lando at the end.
I don't know.
You couldn't remember her name.
Oh, she was like, yeah.
Okay. Well, that character.
Yeah.
much like Finn had a backstory with the Empire and then turned to fight against the Empire. How cool would it have been if when he goes, why did you do this? She gave the story of why she did. What if she had said, you inspired us to do it? We heard what you did. And then and you could have like built Finn up to be more of a hero in that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, like he could be inspiring. He could inspire that. That could be like part of his story. He was able to inspire all these, ex-Empire employees to turn and fight the Empire. Or, I'm sorry, the First Order.
Yeah, the Empire's dead.
I know. It's nothing close to the Empire.
Resistance, Rebellion, come on.
With Death Stars and...
Hater.
I'm not a hater.
You know how Kylo Ren screams traitor? I'm screaming hater. Hater!
Well, this was fun, Adam.
Yeah. It was good.
This was a lively, friendly debate.
Chased our tails for an hour.
We could have just summed it up in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm ready for a June rundown, though.
Yeah, we should.
I'm curious.
We'll do that.
Because as of right now, it'll probably change, but as of right now, I've gotten the most enjoyment out of The Rise of Skywalker than any Star Wars movie to date, for me personally.
That's a big statement.
Sorry.
I know what we're
Sorry.
We're going to be playing back in June. Better than Empire.
Well, I've never...
Or better Return of the Jedi.
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Dun, dun.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Because that's the redemption of
Dun, 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 dun,
Vader,
dun, dun.
which I never had the ups and downs with Vader as I had with Kylo Ren. Never did. The moment you meet Kylo, he's struggling. He has tears in his eyes trying to pray the light away, which is even more of the genius storytelling. He idolized his grandfather, believing he died the ultimate evil, not knowing at the very end he redeemed himself for the greater good, which was the exact same journey Kylo Ren took.
After murdering tens of thousands of people.
Much like his grandfather.
Yeah.
But he
and that's the thing, too.
He thought Vader stayed evil. He had no idea. He did the exact same character arc his grandfather did unknowingly.
He would have known the full story.
No. He thought he was evil. That's why he was the dark side with Anakin. With Vader.
So you don't think Luke ever said, oh, yeah, by the way, my dad.
No, I don't think so.
Not evil in the end.
I don't think so.
No, I think that would have
Why do you think he would worship Vader if he knew at the end he was good the whole time? Or he redeemed himself.
I think he was worshiping what Vader was.
He said, I'll finish what you started.
Because he didn't.
I don't think so.
Wow. Well, this is intriguing.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think we just hit the most intriguing part of this whole discussion.
I don't think so.
Is that I believe that Kylo had to know the entire story.
I don't think you would.
Why wouldn't he?
So put the shoe on the other foot.
You don't think Han would have said, "Oh yeah, by the way, we took down Darth Vader." In the end, he killed the Empire.
Put the shoe on the other foot. If you yourself had a grandfather who had a great life, but at the very end, like say the last little bit of his life, did terrible things. Would you want to live in the footsteps of your grandfather and worship him for what he was?
The good guy?
Yeah, but I'm giving you because you want to be good. He wants to be bad. But the very end has a turn.
What would you want to be? That's the real
What's
question.
that?
What would you want to be?
Dark side, you know that. You know this. I have that $200 red lightsaber in my room for a reason.
In your room?
It is.
Is that allowed in your room?
It's in the corner in case we have a break-in.
That's your weapon?
Yeah. It's combat ready.
Oh, hey, there is. I mean, this is like a quick rabbit hole. Did you watch the Greatest of All Time Jeopardy Championship?
No, never
Really?
heard of that. Huh?
Yeah, it was on ABC like this past week.
Huh?
Ken Jennings won.
Are they trying to wrap this up because of Alex or what?
It felt like a little tribute to Alex.
Jeez.
Yeah, but it was really good. You said because lightsaber was one of the answers.
Oh, really?
Part of one of the answers. In one of the questions. It was really entertaining.
Really?
Did better ratings than like the NBA Finals.
Wow.
I think, what was it, the opening ceremonies of the Summer Olympics.
Wow.
The World Series. There's all these major things that it had better ratings than.
I never heard about. Wow.
For network television.
Yeah.
It's right up the alley of network television.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a multi-night. It was the best of 5.
How was he looking?
He looks okay.
Yeah.
You know, he was sitting rather than standing.
Really?
But he, still walked over and talked to the contestants, and they did a Jeopardy special a couple of weeks ago, and he was on there, and I mean, it was really kind of sad because he talked about, because he was asked, he's like, what do you want your final Jeopardy to be like? And he said, I'll just tell the director to give me 30 seconds at the end, and I'll say goodbye.
Wow.
Wow. But he's, he's fighting it.
Is he? Yeah.
And that kind of cancer is, pancreatic cancer is serious stuff. So, I don't know.
Well,
greatest of all time, Ken Jennings.
Yeah.
Not Watson.
Not Watson?
The IBM computer. Well, you can check us out. Tweet at us at Adam and JP.
Please do that. And, of course, on Facebook, facebook.com/Adam and JP as well. We should post more on there, huh?
Yeah, we should. Has it been 2 years yet?
Close, I believe. Well, no, we did, was it last year? Was it 2019, the Ghostbusters Twinkie? That may have been 2018.
I think that was 2018. I think it has been almost 2 years. Went out with the bang.
Actually, I think the last post was like, hey, we're going to be posting more on Facebook. But we're not.
This is the beginning of a windfall of Facebook posts. You can send us an email, too. Did we say that?
No, we did not. No.
Yeah, shoot us an email, adamandjp@gmail.com.
We have to find a social media person that sticks with us. That's the curse.
That is the curse. I'm Jay Patrick. That's Adam.
You've been eating that galactic podcast roll.
Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now. In case you forgot or fell off, I'm still hot, knock your shell off. My money stacked fat, plus I can't turn the swell off. The franchise doing big business, I live this, it's automatic. I win this, so you hear those horns, you finish. A soldier, and I stay under you fighting. Plus I'm storming on you chumps like I'm thunder and lightning. Ain't no way you breaking me, kid, I'm harder than nails. Plus I keep it on lock like I'm part of the jail. I'm slaughtering stale competition. I got the whole block wishing they could run with my division, but they gone fishing with no bait. Kid, your boy, hold weight. I got my soul straight. I brush your mouth like Colgate. In any weather, I'm never better. Your boy's so hot, you never catch me in the next man's sweater. If they hate, let them hate. I drop your whole clan. Lay your ass down for the 3-second tan. Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now. It's the franchise where I'm shining now. You can't see me, my time is now.
It's gon' be what it's gon' be. 5 pounds of courage, buddy base, 10 pants with a gold tee. It's a war dance, a victory step. A raw stance is a gift, and you insist it's my rep. John Cena trademark, y'all are so-so. And talk about the bread you make, but don't know the recipe for dough. Aiming guns in all your photos, that's a no-no. In this pop, your lip lock, your big talks are blatant no-so. See what happens when the ice age melt. You see monetary status is not what matters, but it helps. I rock a timepiece by Benny, if any. The same reason y'all could love me is the same reason y'all condemn me. A man's measured by the way that he thinks, not clothing lines, ice links, leather and minks. I spent 20 plus years seeking knowledge of self. So for now, Mark Breckers living life for wealth.
Your time is